show.
Which, by the way, I need to get that. How much did that cost?
You're not getting the same jacket
I bought you one of the jackets, didn't I?
What does that mean?
I'm just saying, like...
You're still not... Why would you get the same jacket I got?
I'm saying how much did it cost, because they should be, like, the same value.
No. It shouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
Why would it cost the same?
If it's, like, the same material, same flight, it's like a flight jacket, right?
I don't care what it is. You're just not getting the same jacket.
I'm just asking. The whole point of this was I was just going to say I need to buy one of those, like a windbreaker.
A flight jacket.
When you change the name. Jacket,
you just changed the name.
Same thing. I figure, flight was
a flight jacket.
Yeah. I need to buy one.
All right, Tom Cruise. The fuck?
I need to buy one. I'm kind of tired.
Just don't get my color.
Red's not my color.
Okay, then. So
it actually is my color, but it's not. Skin tone wise, it is because of the primary.
Who told you this? What girl told you?
No girl told me this.
So no, that usually comes from a girl.
Why do you always?
A girl be like, "Oh, that's your color."
No,
that's what I've been told.
No. I did it because of I went to cosmetology school, and that's what told me that.
Who told you that? Cosmetology?
Yeah,
or
the school. Teacher? No, because they teach you about the whole skin tones and everything about the colors. So because you gotta pay attention when you do the highlights and stuff like that, chemical colors. So that, they have the primary colors, complementary colors, and
what's a complementary color?
Which are those that complements the tone of the skin.
Which is the primary colors?
No.
So what's a complementary color?
That goes with the color. We're both warm tones. So warm.
You compare me to you now.
I can tell, and we're brothers. Like
that doesn't mean anything just because we're brothers. I have my skin tone is a little lighter than yours.
Anyways, we're both warm tone. So the warm.
I don't like that you say we're both. I don't like people to tell me what.
But you are warm tone because red works for you, right?
I don't know.
It does because you wear.
It doesn't mean it works for me.
Look.
Maybe I just like red. Red is my favorite color.
It is your favorite color.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
I think.
But blue doesn't work for me.
Exactly, and yet it's your favorite.
But still,
it just happens to be my favorite.
But you
color.
are a warmer tone. I can tell. I studied this. I went to school for this.
Okay.
Right.
That's cool with me, man. I'm not disagreeing that you didn't go to school.
Anyways.
So, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, this is what? Episode 1?
Number 1.
Of
Studio 59.
Studio 59 podcast. We finally decided to start it, even though we've been contemplating on doing it for almost a year.
Starting 2020 off right, I guess,
So what's the resolution for 2020?
I don't believe in resolutions.
Why not?
I just don't. I feel like if you do it, then
you don't get shit done.
You tend to fail. People especially people that go to the gym, they be like, which I hate the new resolution when people go to the gym and it gets packed January
for a week,
2 weeks, 2 weeks max. Yeah, 2 weeks max.
I feel like it's a week.
Which lately I've been going to the gym in the morning and nobody really goes, which is good.
I feel like only old people and really smart people go in the morning.
Exactly, or people that doesn't have a strict time at their workspace, they get late.
Typically it's strict time people. That's why they decide to go early instead of in the afternoon.
Yeah, which I'm grateful because it don't be packed in the mornings.
But I figure you don't go that early.
I go at 7 or 8.
That's not early.
It's not. But to regular people,
I feel like it's for me personally,
for us it's not. It's not. Regular people.
For me, early is 5:30.
Yeah, 5 or 6. 5 or 6.
That's the earliest. You don't see anybody there.
I be up. I just don't get up. That's my thing. So, and everything. So,
that's what I need to do. Well, I'll get back into it.
So, do you want to explain why we call it Studio 59? Why 59? I mean, obviously we're in the studio, so that's...
I don't want to give that away yet.
Not yet.
But if you do, I mean, that's up to you. I'm going to stop if you want to do it.
Well, 5 is me. That's my favorite number. And 9 is obviously his. He likes 9. And it's his birthday.
Well, that's not why I did it.
I feel like that's what you did it.
No, I did it because I was like, I don't want to go with a name because you're picky about your shit. So I was like, you're not gonna like if I say some other shit. So I was like, if I put some, because I feel like you're a little bit self-centered when it comes to you. So
I tend to be. I will not disagree.
I was like, if I don't put anything that has to do anything with you, it's not gonna, you're not gonna like it.
What was some other names that you had in mind that?
For me?
Yeah.
Studio 88 off top. Because that's just
Why that?
Because it's my ear. Off top. But regardless, I was like...
But that sounds catchy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why.
But I would have disagreed.
Exactly, because there's only 88.
Obviously
and I'm like, I'm not 88. I'm from the 90s. Okay. Yeah. So... I was like, Studio 59. He'll like it because he always done that. He's always ran with that too. You always run with that.
That's our password for one of our things.
Don't. Why would you?
For one of our things. It's not for everything now. I don't do that.
Just the number though.
No, the 59. Because remember we had to combine something. And I was like, for us we had to use it. So I was like, okay.
That's where I got the idea from. Because you always came up with that number. 59. You was like, it's my favorite number, your favorite number. I was like, I would have never put them together. But you know what? For this, it works out.
I think it sounds catchy. Studio 59.
Studio 59.
59.
You know, I mean, what else can... I mean, I would have called it Wine Talk. Because I like drinking wine.
I would. Okay.
And people tend to talk when they're drinking wine.
Yeah.
Which is like what they really do in this podcast nowadays.
People that, do appreciate wine. Which you was telling me the other day about, like, a friend of yours was asking about the wine, like what he should get, and then you told me about, what did you tell him?
Well, he's not really a wine drinker. It's mostly his wife. But, so he was asking for tips as far as, like, what do wine people do? And I'm like, well, I don't consider myself a wine person. Wine people do. But... as far as tips goes, like if you're into wine and you drink a lot of wine and then you have company, save your good wine for you or for special occasions, and then you get some cheap wine for people that don't enjoy wine, especially if you got guests that know that they just drink it like water. Like, nah, like you're not getting my good wine. Give them some shitty wine. They still gonna be like, oh, this is good, even though they don't know the difference between a Merlot, a Cabernet, or a Moscato, or a Chardonnay.
All they know is red and white.
Exactly.
Which, by the way,
and most people like white wine.
White wine, yeah, because it's sweet. It's more sweeter.
Yeah, because they're like, I like white wine. Like, because sugary and sweet. It's like,
Which is ironic that we both tend to switch, because you're a red wine and I'm a white wine. But right now we're drinking the opposite.
Well, I've been drinking a lot of red wine, so I wanted to switch it up.
Give it a break.
Lighter.
Give it a break. I just got into sangria, so like, it's just been tasting it.
I'm not a fan of sangria. Per se.
I think I am.
Now you are.
Yeah.
Recently.
Yeah, recently. Just started.
You don't really drink wine like that.
No.
He would be one that I would give shitty wine to.
That's messed up, but
No, it's not messed up. You just said you just recently started, so that's what I'm saying. If you were my guest, if I didn't know you and you were my guest, like let's say I just got to know you, and you were like guest or somebody that got invited, and then you're like, yeah, I'll show you some wine. I will give you some shitty wine because you just started.
How would you know?
I can tell.
Oh,
It's
you just ask some questions and he's like, oh, okay.
Not even questions, just from your first sip. No, just when you sip on the wine. There's certain details that you do when like people that know wine, and once you get them to talk about wine, he just learned that too.
Whoa, no. You gotta smell it too.
Oh yeah, see, he didn't know that shit before.
I already knew that.
Because who?
Because of you, obviously. You're the one that got me into
That's what I'm saying. Hey, if you were new, I said if you were my guest, I would give you some shitty wine. That's just how it is. I would give you some cheap ass wine from 7-Eleven probably. That's one of the wackest wines you can find.
Well, let's get into what these episodes, Studio 59, is going to be about. Mainly, it's going to be about photography, music. What else?
Well, the main topic for me is music.
Music, right? Okay.
Right.
We both do music.
Because we both do music, and I enjoy music. Right. Music to me is just is how I get through every day of life.
So where the vent express, I would say.
The what?
Vent express.
Not even vent. I'm just saying music in general just gets you through the day.
That's true. I feel like music is what started all this, because music is what got me into photography. Your music, actually.
Well, to me it was different. I didn't start off with music. I started off with art. Photography, art, filming, and then mostly poetry, but mostly art. I used to draw, always. I was always drawing since, I want to say, age 5. That was my outing. That was like my hobby to get away from whatever the fuck was going on in life.
You know, there's a lot of people that do photography. I mean, poetry. Brian 804, he does poetry.
Oh yeah, I didn't have no idea yet.
Yeah, he does poetry.
What kind of poetry though? There's different poetry.
I haven't really listened to it, but I've seen like some of his videos that he does it. I just haven't really like focused on it, paid attention to it. My bad, but he does do it.
That's the kind of friend you got.
I support it.
That's who you are.
But I do support it.
So you blindly support stuff.
That's in a bad way, yeah.
I can't do that.
In a bad way, yeah.
If I support you, I have to like really like digest your content in a way.
I will have to listen to it now.
If I don't digest your content, I really can't be a fan and say I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like you're a bad friend for that.
In a sense, I can see that, yeah. Okay.
In my sense.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be in your sense, but in my sense.
Okay, I mean, I can understand that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I like, off topic, I like Anthony Bachata, right? He's a local artist as well, and he does bachata, which you probably won't understand if you don't speak Spanish or listen to Spanish music. But him
I'd be surprised.
Him is one like I have to make time to hear his music because yes. I like his music, but if I haven't heard it, I can't really like, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, like most of the songs I've heard. So, but if I haven't heard the song, I really can't be like, oh.
Which lately I will say he is getting better. Cause
as far as what?
Like music wise, I mean he's been good, but like making like a good song, like a good topic, like not just like your generic kind. Like he's doing something.
Yeah. Well, his content is more emotional, more into, you know what I'm saying, in feelings. So that's one of the reasons I like his music, and that's one of the reasons I work with him. I don't really work with a lot of people because I just can't. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very isolated person as far as just listening abroad because I never want to get influenced by anybody. So I don't really. Like I don't watch the news. I don't watch TV. I don't really, not even political, just anything. Like I really don't. Most of my influence comes from whoever I talk to in a daily basis, or who I hang out with, or when I go to my outings and I meet people. But other than that, it's like, so him, he was different. He reached out and he was like, because I do photography as well. So we did a photography session, and then he does music as well. And then I started recording, and I made a music video for him. Which you was part of too.
Yeah.
So I really got into his music, and I love bachata.
Yeah.
Not in the sense of listening to it at all, but
dancing
bachata, that's just always been in me. Since I've heard the genre, I just like dancing bachata. And it's different because not a lot of people dance. Especially if you do rap. Like I feel like rappers don't really dance. And then I think that's what separates the Spanish and the English American or whatever.
Especially clubs.
Yeah, in clubs. Because rappers are like, if you dance, you look a little bit like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You don't look.
That's why you see most of them just in the back, like,
standing in the fucking background.
Be
like, you going to see me, if you go to a club, in Spanish club, you going to see me dancing, swinging. And you know what I'm saying?
Good cardio, too.
Exactly.
It's good cardio.
Because I do bachata Sundays. So, you know what I'm saying? So, if you see me in Bachata Sunday, you would never think I do music, the type of music that I do. You see what I'm saying? So, that's just a little bit of that.
I guess. What are you binging right now on Netflix?
On Netflix?
Yeah. Because I know right now they recently cut off Friends, which is his favorite show.
What made you transition to Netflix? Which is I don't get.
Because you talked about the TV. About something earlier about a TV, about watching, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk about that next.
I used to binge on Friends.
Yeah,
but they took it out,
canceled out,
which is so disappointing. I feel like that's a classic that you can rewatch. I will watch that every day.
He did watch it every day.
It's a classic. Like even if I'm not watching it, I'm hearing it. You know what I'm saying? I will put it on, and it would just be something you can hear. If I'm not listening to music, I put Friends on.
Cause it's relatable. I think it's a good show. Even the years has passed, I feel like it's still relatable.
As far as living life and just having relationships or just friendships, yes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, each character like even showed everything, like the way their marriages, how they showed different marriages, pregnancy and everything. Like they showed it. Like Phoebe had, well, she was a surrogate mother, and then.
Well, I like the growth of each character.
Right.
That's how I feel like everybody grows. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago.
Favorite character.
In what?
Friends.
Friends?
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to say Chandler.
I was gonna say Chandler too.
Why?
He's funny. To me, he was just funny.
That's it?
Well, I mean, just because I feel like I could relate to him as
like, far
as in like relationship wise and girl wise, he wasn't really like the one that always got like the most, you know, compared to Joey that always got like the girls and stuff like that. I felt
I can't say that because I would relate more to Joey.
But I'm saying
in that perspective, I would relate
I'm saying
more
in
to
that
Joey.
perspective why I relate more to Chandler and stuff like that.
I appreciate like the character Chandler. It's more relatable to me because he grows.
He does. He did grow.
He
matured a lot.
Exactly.
He matured
so
a lot.
I feel like not even just in the way he is, just in the growth. I feel like we all grow. So I can relate to the growth. As far as relating to just growing up mentally and as a character. Because I feel like we're all characters.
In this
you know
world.
what I'm saying? Well, just in general, because you act a certain way, it depends on the situation. We all have different.
Even with
nobody's
with
the same anywhere.
Even
like
with
you're
people.
at work, you're a different person.
Co-workers.
With your relationship, you're a different person.
Even with your friends.
With your friends, you're a different person depending on who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think that I am generally the same everywhere because I don't care.
I feel like that's kind of true, but in a sense, you're not always like open. Like where there might be a way where like you just like I'm kind of like, you know, stay back to see how that person is. Like you study them.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in general, like I will always be the same as how I treat you in the beginning.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't change just because I don't judge you. I'm just gonna act the same until you get to know me.
I agree, because I don't believe in what first impression. I don't believe in first impression.
Me neither, because everybody puts up front at the beginning.
And not even that. Like you don't know what that person is going through that day. What if they had a shitty day? And you just
they shouldn't be out.
I just feel like that's your answer.
I feel like you shouldn't be out. No, if you have a shitty day, no. Maybe you want to get some steam off, but I mean, if you're drinking, especially if it's an outing where you socially drink, not saying that you're a drinker, but if you socially drink, I'll be like, oh, do you really? Because then your emotions are gonna get out.
True, that is true.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, I did get some good advice from my boy Hayes when before I even started drinking. He had told me, like, you know, when I was going through my divorce and stuff like that. He was saying it's like, because I told him about drinking, that I wanted to drink. And he was like, you should never drink when you're going through, like, you know, sadness or, like, hurt or anything. You should only drink when you're happy.
True. I can relate to that. And I've learned to do that, even though, you know, like, it takes some growth.
Yeah.
Because I know I've drank when I was, like, pissed off or sad. Because you just want to forget shit.
Yeah.
You know, but that is a good thing. And now that's the reason I drink wine now, because I'm happy. Before I would drink just liquor. I never drink wine.
Yeah.
I've never been a beer guy either, so I don't drink beer. I find beer very disgusting. Some of you might not.
And because of calories, it gives you that beer gut.
I didn't think about calories back in the day.
True.
But I don't find beer very tasteful. You know what I'm saying? And it's just not me.
I'm a late drinker, so I just really, 25 is when I started drinking.
Yeah, well, I started at 19 or 20, but liquor. Like I said, beer, I tried it one time when I was 15, and I just didn't like it, and ever since that, I was like, the fuck is beer?
Doesn't have a good taste. To me, I don't know. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm just one of the people that don't enjoy the taste of it.
I feel like people drink beer because they think it's lighter than liquor. That's my take on that. But it's worse than liquor as far as if we're thinking calories now and just healthy wise. It's just like, and I don't like the taste of it. My palate is very different and in a way where I just And so I always been a liquor guy.
Not at all.
Since I started drinking, I was like, you know what, liquor is what it is. But
what's your poison?
My poison?
Yeah.
Wine.
Now. What about liquor?
No, it's not.
No, it's not anymore.
If you give me a choice between liquor and wine, I would choose wine.
Okay. Well, good choice. Good choice, by the way.
I mean, for my perspective, yeah. But I just don't. I used to drink a lot of liquor, and I know the effects. Like with liquor, you can black out, you don't remember shit, and I'm like, yeah. And then shit happens when you drink liquor. So certain type of liquors, dark or white, it gets you to a certain point where you don't remember shit. And I personally, I like to remember shit, you know. And you spaz out sometimes.
Yeah.
And liquor, you get more emotional. Like you're like, if I'm feeling angry, I want to hit somebody.
You might want to call an ex. You might want to do that.
Yeah, you might want to call an ex, make a mistake, and I don't want to do those mistakes. I don't want to. I only drink liquor if I'm comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want, like your friend said, like only when you're comfortable you should drink.
Yeah.
I take that perspective. I take that rule with liquor. Like if I'm comfortable, I would drink liquor because there's been times where I drink liquor and I really just want to fight because I bottle up a lot of things and I hold back when I'm sober. So if I drink up liquor and then there's a person that I personally been holding back on, I will go ham on you, and I prefer not to.
Yeah. I've been there, so I understand completely and everything.
So yeah, then my poison is wine. So I'm guessing, what's your poison?
Wine. I like wine.
You can't, but I don't feel like that's your poison because you just started drinking wine recently.
Yeah, but I have drank liquor too.
So, but that's your poison? That's where you're going to go with your poison is?
With wine? I prefer wine because it's like you said, I think, it's more healthier. Because now I know knowledgeably, like I know it's less calories.
But that's your poison. That's what you think is poison.
That's just a white saying. I got that from like white people have told me, it's like, what's your poison? And I was like, what is that? When I didn't know what it was.
I always thought it was Tinder.
What?
Your poison.
No.
Like that's your go-to poison. Like when you're feeling, because to me poison is like when you're feeling kind of like down or some shit, which
no
doesn't make sense for me.
No,
either.
Somebody from white people have always told me like, what's your poison? And I was like, what is that? Like, what is it that you drink? Like, what do you like to drink? So they always told me that.
So when they ask you, they meant, what do you drink?
Yeah, basically. That's like, what is your poison? Like,
or what's your drug?
I guess you could say that. But poison is more something you could drink. I mean, you could inject yourself.
That's what I'm saying. It's drugs.
I don't know.
So when you asked me that question, I didn't think of it like that. I thought.
But it's funny. It's ironically how you answer with like alcohol though, like with wine. So I was like, okay.
No, because I feel like when you ask the question, what's your poison? I feel like, what do I
do to like
escape? Kind of like escape, not even escape, but just like what do I know that I can do daily? Because I feel like poison you would do daily, like an addict.
I would say the gym, if we were talking in that perspective. I would say the gym.
But is it something bad? Because I feel like the word poison to me equals bad.
True. Okay.
Right?
That makes sense.
So even though wine can't be as bad as liquor, but you get to a point where you're like, do I need it every day? Do I don't? Not that I do, but to me I feel like you need poison to get through some shit. So sometimes I'm like, I need to unwind with some wine without rhyming.
Yeah, okay.
So,
it's just the artist in you.
I can't, so that's my perspective.
No, I got it because, what certain white people have told me that. And I've only noticed that only white people would ask that kind of question, like, what's your poison? I'm like, I've never heard that when I first, heard it when they told me. I was like, what is that? It was like, what's your favorite drink? Like liquor, alcohol, beer? And I was like, oh, okay. I would say wine, because I prefer wine.
I guess it has to be a little Caucasian for me too, because I wouldn't even in Spanish. Like if I would translate it in Spanish, it wouldn't make sense.
No, it wouldn't. Of course not.
But like, ¿cuál es tu veneno?
Yeah, but no Spanish people would really ask that.
What is your venom?
Yeah.
So I'd be like, what? Spanish woman? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like veneno, ¿Cuál es tu veneno? Like Spanish woman would be my poison.
I guess I don't know. But have you seen the show You?
I have.
Yeah? What you think about it?
I binged on it. So
yeah?
It's pretty good. I finished it. I want to say like in a week.
I got like 2 or 3 more episodes left.
Well, I didn't finish it.
You haven't finished it?
I can't. Well,
look, I'm the type of person that don't care if you spoil it for me. So I'm the type of person that would beg someone like, "Yo, let me know."
Well, I want to finish it, but I can't.
So far, what do you think of it? Like from what you've seen?
What I've seen?
Yeah.
It reminds me of Dexter.
It is. It is. They referenced it too.
Yeah, so it reminds me of Dexter. I like it.
It's a good
show. It kind of shows kind of the perspective, like where you can go, and I feel like a lot of people get to that level in relationships,
like obsessive,
kinda, because it's not healthy.
No, it's not. It's really not.
You know what I'm saying? So, but as far as the killing, I don't know. I feel like some people probably have thought certain times to be like, to that extreme, but they don't follow through.
Maybe not kill, but maybe like hurt. I feel like hurting.
Physically, mentally, probably. Yeah. More mentally. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, I don't know. I can't see that way. I've had a couple toxic relationships and I'd rather get out of them. Because it can take you to a very dark place, which I don't like. It's like, no. Because I remember I was in a toxic relationship and it had me in a very dark place. And that's when I was drinking a lot of liquor. And I was like, I sober is like, like I said, you start to drink to forget. But then, it makes you because of the drink, it takes you to a dark place. Yeah, it does. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. So but it's a very good show.
It is.
Binge worthy. You know what I'm saying? Now that they taking Friends off Netflix, which by the way, I almost quit Netflix because of that. Because I'm like, Netflix was the reason that I really watched Netflix.
I like the show. I really enjoyed it so far from it. I don't agree with the whole killing thing, but I can understand. And you can relate some of the stuff.
I don't agree with it, but I be rooting. Like I'm not gonna lie.
I've seen a lot of people posting like they root.
Yeah, like I root because I'm like I'm like, yeah, man, he deserved to die.
I seen a post when there was like murder aside, Joe is still a good guy, and then somebody would comments like, murder aside, like no.
Yeah, no,
I still bad.
I feel like I would share that. Like murder aside, Joe tries. He tries. He really does.
I will give him like he.
And I think that's the perspective of relationship and any relationship between a man and a woman. Like murder aside, some of us are good guys and some of us are good girls, but shit happens, man. It does. And it's just like communication. I think that's one part of this that shows you. If without communication, it's like, Because me personally, I got the perspective of, being stalked before. Like, I've been stalked, and I found out, and it's like, it's kind of weird, it's kind of creepy, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't get it till maybe now that I'm watching the show. It's like, maybe they were thinking that, you know what I'm saying? But still, it's still creepy, because if they were, man, that's kind of creepy, like, you're stalking me. Like, I've had exes stalk me, like, because my thing is like, we break up, you're getting blocked, you know what I'm saying, anywhere. Now it's a little harder because it's social media, but before you got blocked, I changed my number, you didn't know shit about me. You couldn't go online because there wasn't really social media to go on to, right?
Yeah.
But nowadays it's like stalking has become so easy.
Right there in the fingertips.
Exactly. Like, even if you're not with that person, like, you can create a fake account or some shit, and then you can stalk them from far away, watch their stories, look at their posts, look at their stats and shit. And
which is bad for you.
And they become obsessive.
It's bad for you, too.
That's what I'm saying.
By the way, he was the one that gave me advice on that. Like, I had to learn the hard way because I would, when I was going through one of my exes, like, it was hard for me to move on because I would still have them on my social media, and I would constantly see, and it would hurt because if I see them with somebody else, that would hurt.
And you miss them.